Hi, and welcome to the next part of my lace haul series. This one is full of trims. Again, I've laid it out on black felt so that you can see and distinguish the different patterns. This here is a crocheted piece of tiny little medallions that are all put together. I've laid this one out with the front showing and this one out with the back showing so that I can show you the difference between a front and a back. And that may not be easy to do. That's the front of a piece of crochet, and this one is the back. I'm not sure if I'll be able to show you with this particular example. So I have this piece, and I'll show you on it real quick how to tell the front and back on crochet. If you're not familiar with crochet and you've never crocheted before, it'll be a little difficult to make the distinction. Real quick, this is the front. The front has, on this particular example, the center of this doily has a circle with spokes coming out of it. And as you can see in here, it looks like little tiny braids. Like if you braid your hair, a little chain with another little chain coming out of it. That's the front. The same type of stitches used here. These are chains, and that's chained all the way across. And then going up are the stitches that have been made. It has a twist to it. That's the front. Now I'm going to turn it to the back real quick. Show you the back of the circle first. The back of the circle has these little things. If you knit, you've seen these. I think they call them pearls. Like when you knit on one side, then you purl on the other. This looks almost like a pearl on a knit stitch, but it's a piece that goes straight back and forth across. That right there is a distinguishing mark that that's the back of a piece of crochet. It does still have the little spokes coming out of the center, but the piece that goes crossways right in here is a distinguishing mark because the front doesn't have that. And I'll show you the back of this section. It too has the piece going across, like right here. So that's the back. And to me, it looks kind of loopy, where the front piece looks chained or braided or twisted. So just a real quick distinguishing way to distinguish between the two. Going back to this lace haul, these are the pieces that were edging pieces or little appliques or whatever little different pieces, let's say, from the other pieces. That looks to me like it was put together to be a little baby sleeve for a little baby dress or something maybe. I don't know why that was sewn together like that. These are some extremely delicate pieces of applique that have come off, been cut off perhaps and used on other things, but are exquisite, and I'll be excited to use them in a project in the future. Pull these off, set them aside, and I've always loved pearls. I throw pearls on just about everything I work on and play with. So I used to host a pearls and lace party on my blog a number of years ago. It's been quite a while now since I've done that. We moved recently from Texas to Tennessee, and that kind of put a screeching halt to a lot of my blogging. But now that we're in Tennessee, I'm able to get my stuff out again and play with it. Somebody help me with this piece. I do not know what it's called. It might be a hairpin lace or a bobbin lace with such loose strands that it makes it almost like a little spider web. Isn't that something else? The piece is kind of long, made up of a number of these little medallions, and absolutely the finest of threads and exquisite. Just really super neat, that piece. Here's a pretty little edging. And again, yep, front and back. Hard to tell. If in doubt, use the side you like the best. That's a pretty piece. Here's another little piece of crochet, little shells, crocheted. This piece is crocheted back and forth. If I hold it up this way, and I'm looking through my camera lens, I'm not looking through, I'm looking at my phone, in fact. That's the front right there, I think. Let me look with my real eyes instead of on the camera. Can y'all tell the front and back? That's the back, I believe. Maybe I should take off my glasses so I can actually see what I'm looking at. Hold on. I see a little better close up if I don't have my glasses on. Hard to tell. Real hard to tell. But it's a sweet little piece. It may have, with these little coral colored ribbons, it may have been used like as a, around the neck as a little piece to accent a collar or something. And I still can't tell what's the front and the back on that one. A magnifying glass may be helpful with that piece. Get in focus. I think I had some of this on one of the previous ones. So anyway, I think that's the front right there. Next, this little piece. That's the prettier side, so that will be the front. The satin stitching right here is a good indicator. Any little bobbin bubbles like that or satin stitching, if you look at the back side, you'll be able to tell better whether it's nicely done or not. And to me, this looks like it's the front. But then again, I could be wrong. Anyway, that's a sweet little piece. Again, I only know just enough to get in trouble on these. Is this just the most delicate stuff? Don't know how it's made. It almost looks like it's got some tape laces in there. Tape made into those circles. I just don't know. And it's got a little bit of cording in it around this design here. Yeah, that's the front. That's sweet. Just little snippets and pieces now of edgings. This one's on some net. There may be some of that in that other grouping as well. Isn't this a sweet piece? I love that edge, that point edge there. It's just so delicate and wow, pretty amazing. If I use any of these laces, it would be with a needle and thread, not any glue at all. I just can't do that to my lace. The real good stuff. If I have machine-made laces or things that we buy, you know, from Joann's or Hobby Lobby these days, I don't mind a bit putting any glue on that, but not these old ones. Somebody else might want to use them someday. And I would hate to ruin them with some glue because you can't pull glue out of a delicate piece of lace and not damage it. This piece right here is a tape lace made with these pieces looped around and then little tiny threads in between, chained in between maybe, to make it hold its shape. And it's some of my very favorite stuff. These styles, I even collect the tape and the turtle laces and the things like that that were used to make these tape laces. Honiton laces, or princess lace it's also called. Isn't that gorgeous? This is a crochet lace with some texture to it. Here's the texture. I want to sort of, here we go, show you. It's a very delicate piece. It's called Irish lace. A number of the Irish laces that I've seen, always called Irish laces, always have some type of a raised design. There, you can see that a little better. So if you have a piece, the raised part goes to the front, and then the rest of it's on the back. I'm not even going to try to show you the difference between the two. That one's an obvious one. And I have quite a bit of the pieces of the Irish lace. Here's another bit of it, maybe a little bit wider. In fact, this one has an edging on it. Let's look at that, the right direction. Oh, and then a pretty edge. I'm trying to flip things around, make sure I'm on the right side, and hold the camera at the same time. So, anyway, beautiful little design to that. Can you imagine? I have tried and tried to crochet with a very small hook. I cannot do it. I can crochet with a regular sized middle hook, but not the teeny tinies, and that's what this was made with. I can tat. I can needle tat. It's similar to knitting. If you've never tried to tat, may I suggest needle tatting. It is so fun, and it was really easy to learn. I learned off the internet about 5 years or 6 years ago. And just, in fact, I used a sharp needle, a darning needle, I believe, to teach myself. Here's another little piece of eyelet. That should have been in another patch. Let's see. Oh, isn't that gorgeous? Ooh, this is pretty. Delicate. Let me check. Let's see if that's the front or if this is the front. This looks more like it might be the front, at least for a minute. Can y'all decide? Let's see if we can get a better picture of that or that. Hard to tell. Whatever side you like the best, huh? Anyway, that's exquisite. Just in love with that. Still got quite a few left here. Let's go through these. It's a pretty leaf pattern. Yeah, the sheen seems to be on this side more so than the other side. This is a really interesting piece, and I think I have a couple of these. I'm so glad because these are some of my favorites. The texture of these little puffed, not the petals, I guess, but the interior parts here, they are puffed. They're raised up. I don't know if you can see that. I'm trying really hard to get that to focus. There it goes, sort of, kind of. And the top of this stem is also got some dimension to it. This bud has dimension to it. You can really feel the difference there. That's pretty cool. I don't have a clue how it's made. Don't have a clue, but it's gorgeous. And I love these little circles like that. Little satin stitched circles. I think those are just really incredible. Such detail. Look at all that. Frankly, I don't find this one all that gorgeous. It is interesting, but it's so much larger in the details than the others that all of a sudden when I pull it out, it doesn't look as pretty as the others, does it? but it has a beautiful texture. I like those edges on the end here, these little picots along the edge. That was a wider tape lace perhaps, I don't know. Hard to tell. The little delicate stuff is, I think, where my heart really lacks. Look at this. Looks like it was a sleeve, intended maybe for a sleeve. There, isn't that nice? I wish I knew my laces better, so I could tell you what they each were and where they were made even. That would be neat to know, wouldn't it? Another really gorgeous piece. I've got a piece of feather, believe it or not, stuck on my finger. That was also in the bag. Just little pieces of feather here and there. Not any real feathers. Isn't that a pretty piece? Such beautiful detail. Isn't that edge incredible? Just gorgeous. Another little piece here. That looks like some more eyelet actually. Again, another piece I'm not real fond of. It, to me, doesn't have just a whole lot of interest. Picky, I know. But anyway. That's a pretty one. It's certainly seen better days, but oh, it's beautiful. Another piece of that Irish lace. This is a corded lace here. Isn't that a sweet piece? This might actually be an Alençon lace. I'm not sure. I don't know for sure. If y'all can help me out, that would be great. This is some Clooney lace, it looks like. The Clooneys on here are, let me get my hand right, these pieces coming down. A Clooney is threads that run up and down. So it would run from up here down to here. And it looks like 3 threads. For each Clooney, thread was woven back and forth, over, under, over, and then under, over, under. You know what I mean? Back and forth. Until it's all filled in. And that's what makes a Clooney. They use them a lot for leaves in the lace making. And this looks like bobbin lace, but just enough to get in trouble. This is a bobbin lace, I believe, as well. It's not a crochet lace. None of those stitches are crocheted, but it's pretty. Another little piece of Irish lace right there. Isn't that a sweetie? Turn it this away. Has a snap here and here and here. So it attached to something with those 3 snaps of all things. And it had such a pretty little motif in there. Pretty little detail. Yeah, that has to be the top. Isn't that sweet? Look at the edging on this. It's 2 pieces of lace that somebody sewed together to give it length, and then it's this piece, the edge. Can't tell front and back very well. Actually, I do believe it goes this way. But isn't that just lovely? Oh, it's so pretty. And it looks like it too has some of those tape pieces used in it. And I just love those. Isn't that just so sweet? Oh, this is a pretty. Hope I get it on the right side. Yeah. This looks like it was a collar that went all the way around the length. Well, maybe it wasn't. They'd have to have a big neck. I guess it could have been. Who knows? Has a lot of dimension to it too. All in here. And texture. Seen some much better days, but we'll give it new life with a new project. Cutting. Oh dear, cutting is so hard. When it's a piece like that, I can rarely cut, but sometimes you have to use it. So that's an interesting piece, isn't it? Can't tell you what it is. Just that it's a pretty piece, and that piece going through the middle runs under a little piece of gauze or something. It looks like a gauzy thing. That's the back. But isn't that a sweet little piece? Imagine that down the breadth of a dress or a length of a bodice or something. Here's that other piece, that rose piece with all the dimensional parts on it. And a few more pieces left. This is one of my favorites. I have a few pieces of that, and I'm so excited because I fell in love with it the instant I saw it. I pulled it out of that bag going, oh, look at that. I just love it. Don't know why, but it's a favorite already. There's a little piece, maybe the V of a neck. Love those little baubles. I think we've already seen something similar to that. There's a pretty, pretty little edge piece. And that the sweetest thing, fleur-de-lis right here. All the little baubles, almost like a candle wicked thing embroidered on there. I love that edging. I saw where my sewing machine makes that. I'm going to have to try that out. That's the back. This piece has some starch in it. It's a little frontispiece. Some embroidery on it. Another piece of that flower. And we're almost done. There's some Irish lace. This is a pretty one. It has some really, really pretty work on it. I really like that. Got a couple of these little squares with a butterfly. Let's see if you can see the butterfly there, which has definitely seen better days. I assume they were little coasters because they're round, but aren't they sweet? Just a little old piece of material with all of this lace added to it, and it looks like it was made onto the piece of fabric, but it's just falling apart, needs a new life. Isn't that sweet? A little butterfly applique. Love that. Oh, sorry, you know, if I'm not looking at my camera, sometimes I do things out of frame. Just a little tiny piece that somebody gathered, but it's exquisite little rosebuds there. Had some of that earlier. And these last few pieces, isn't that something else? I think it's just remarkable how these are made. Look at all the tiny threads. That's gorgeous. This little piece is gorgeous, but I can't tell you how it was made perhaps bobbin lace. I don't know, but it's so tiny, so delicate. It is simply amazing. And this is the last little piece for this segment. Well, there's one under it. There's that one. And then the last piece is this right here. I hope you are enjoying these videos. I'm enjoying looking through all the lace, the piles of lace. If you enjoy it, please comment, leave me a thumbs up, subscribe, let me know what you think. I hope you are liking it. In the process of working on some new lace books. I have a lot of ideas in my head. Keep posted here on what I'm doing. I'd love for you to see. And check out my blog too at faithgracecrafts.com. Sorry, .blogspot.com. I'll be showing lots of other stuff on it. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.